Where are my things? There we go. Hi, good evening. Oh god, I made the YouTube chat too big. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Hello Para, hello Chicken, hello Beavis, hello Hugs, hello Trematel, hello Berry, hello Sir Cute. Greetings, good evening, how we doing? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm actually so surprised I'm awake. I did something to my sleep, but it seems like for once in my life it has had very little consequence, which makes a change. But I had my I had a singing lesson this week, and after I got home I passed out, which meant that I woke up at about midnight, which is not optimal for many reasons, but it's fine. I fixed it. How did it go? Oh, my singing lesson? Started really rough because I was still dealing with the fact that oh, you mean my sleep? I mean, yeah, I slept. Yeah. I haven't known good sleep since 1995. That's before I was born, right? But also the lesson? Yeah, so it started rough because I am still kind of reeling from the... Oh, okay, you did mean lesson. After I accidentally kind of knocked my confidence into the dirt with my anniversary stream, and so the warm-ups were like really, really bad. Like, I just wasn't able to smoothly reach the same notes I usually do. But then I think I have discovered what my biggest enemy is, and it's kind of the obvious answer, and that is my nerves. Because as I got through the lesson and as I started like chilling a little bit, I then managed to reach the highest that I've ever gone, smoother than I've ever done it before. So I think it went well. I just I need to work out how to not be a nervous wreck, I guess. It's nice to know I'm still making progress, even though I get these little moments of weakness. It's fine. Hello, Australian Bogan. Hi. Get a good sleep in thanks. But yeah, please sleep on my behalf. But yeah, it went surprisingly well after I got over kind of my anxiety stuff. Progress is still being made. He did give me some advice as well, just on like there isn't really any advice you can give for like just, oh, don't be nervous, because obviously, like, you know, some people like myself are just more prone to nervousness. I think chain smoking. I did make a joke in the car actually. My mum, she it kind of times quite well for my mum coming back from work as well. So often from singing lesson I ask her to pick me up on the way back so I don't have to get the bus back home. And so on the way back I made a joke about, oh yeah, I mean all rock stars are like, you know, they're just using illegal substances to like relax, right? Maybe I should try that. Obviously, joke, the actual joke, not even just for legal reasons a joke, I mean actual joke, I have no intention. It's like, okay, you know what, I get it actually. Giant box mod what? Either way, yeah, hand holding would make me more nervous. Don't hold my hand. I don't have cocaine. I mean, those are uppers, right? Those do the opposite. They probably make me more nervous. Specifically, I was like, oh, haven't Hollywood Undead mentioned like taking, is it Xanax? Max level prestige prestige reef. Yeah, bro, my I've got 10 prestige on my vape. With a tank for the fluid. Oh, I see. Sorry, well, number one, the time when I used vapes back when I worked retail, disposable ones weren't really that popular anyway. Keep score. What? It's crazy. Either way, it's not that important. I'm just a nervous person. We know this. We all know this. Everyone knows this. Anyone who doesn't know me, within 5 seconds of meeting me or hearing me, will know that I have a very nervous disposition. But it's fine. We also talked a little bit about, did you say the time I used? Yeah, I worked retail and it really stressed me out. So when I worked retail, I started vaping. But the literal day I quit, my job, I also quit vaping. Like, I no longer needed it. Like, full stop. Stopped. So yeah, kids, don't do retail. Don't do retail, and therefore you won't need to do drugs. For the love of God, don't work retail. You're a nervous person? Yeah, just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Yeah, I do not vape. I have not vaped since I last worked retail, which was like 2018. I wanna say 2018, but honestly, it's kind of hard for me to remember. I kind of blocked that era out of my mind. It was a bad time. I used to wake up with nightmares. Even after I quit that job, I would like wake up in a cold sweat, with like realistic nightmares about that job. Messed up. Seriously messed up. But yeah, me and my singing teacher talked about how the first song that you sing when you do like performances and stuff, you actually have to be like very careful about what song you pick. And so I was like, but I chose, and I couldn't remember exactly which the first one I did was. I feel like it was either I feel like it was 1,000 Years. Because that's one I've done a few times, and I was like, I don't understand, like, why did 1,000 Years not go well? I've done it multiple times in my singing lessons. I even did it that one time when I was sick, like recovering from an illness, and I was able to sing it. Like, I don't understand why I suddenly failed so badly. It's just because I was on stream. He's like, did you warm up? I was like, yeah, and it was like my warm-ups off stream were fine, like I just don't get it. And he's like, yeah, that's a really bad song for like the first one, because there's certain parts of the song that sit exactly on the bridge, and there's a very low tolerance for what you can get the notes right, but if you aren't getting like the flow of it correct, it's very noticeable. Like it's a song that, yes, while it's not technically difficult to sing, it is hard to make sound good if you aren't at 100%. And I was like, oh, that sucks. I thought that was a safe one. Anyway, I've learnt. I've lived. I've learnt. We make mistakes, but we learn from them. We learn from them, and we improve. Observers don't take lightly to people on bridges. That sounds like a meaningful phrase, but off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure what that implies. I take out and tried kind day work I did. I don't know. I'm guessing took a melatonin? I don't know what a melatonin is, other than it sounds like maybe an alcoholic version of a melatonin. Good night, Para? Question mark? Live and learn? Yeah, thanks, Sonic. We can always count on Sonic for his wisdom. Either way, it's fine. I'm still like a little bit bummed about the fact that it started out so rough. I know that people, a few people told me, like, you know, yeah, the first ones were not brilliant, but like once you relaxed a bit, like it was alright. But I don't know. I am my own worst critic. And it also felt like the first impression is really important. I feel like I didn't reach the standard that I want, but it's okay. I'll try again. I don't know when my next karaoke stream will be, but I mean, I always do one for Christmas, so this year will be no exception. Hey, you need a dedicated enemy to rise above and defeat. Would you like me to become evil? No, no, thank you. Please do not become evil. The problem is, some things you can become quantifiably better than. Like you can compare yourself in a very literal sense. And you can go, okay, I need to stay better than them. But with singing, it's not really as black and white. It's harder to there are things that are quantifiable about singing, like, oh, how big's your range kind of thing, but like most of it is not really in the same way. We need less villains. Hello, Tower Shield. Of course the superhero comes in. Less villains. But yeah, please don't become evil, please. Thank you. I think right now, I don't know what would push me the most, cause right now I do not have like a solid specific goal to aim towards, but the thing is about singing, the thing is about most talents in truth are you just have to keep on putting like the dedicated effort in. And as long as you're, like, consistent, as long as you're, like, making progress, then improvement is kind of inevitable. And the thing is, if I set myself, like, a really solid target, I mean, number one, again, that's hard to do with something that's kind of not very quantifiable, like singing. But number two, then if I don't reach it, that will be demotivating. And I don't want to do that to myself, because I do have problems with motivation. Also, hello, Plithium. Yes, sorry, bro is reading Become Emo Job Security. No, don't encourage people to become evil. I actually have so much to... I've got to read like an entire book this month when I haven't even actually read a book for like a million years. Other than stuff I do on stream. Bad news? What is the bad news? What is it? But yeah, I got lent a book. I was being told about this series. It's kind of a sci-fi fantasy. And like 100% it is some like right up my alley. It is something that I would have, like, reading the synopsis, I would have loved to read it like back when I was younger. But like nowadays I have such problems with reading that I'm like, oh no, can I even do this? Well, let's talk about improving, and hard work is making me want to take a nap. And hey, resting is important too. Resting is important too. I'm on my Puri Scab arc again. Oh, curiosity. I mean, as long as you're being sensible with your money, as long as you're reserving enough money for yourself and the things you need and want. But I'm not gonna complain about cool art. I'm sorry. I love art. I love seeing. Purity's nemesis home. Not much of a nemesis. Actually, back when I was in school, I basically never did homework. Lent is, I don't know. I don't know if it's Lent. I'm not religious. I should get a Puri Scare. Bro is not gonna like the art I would get though, so maybe not. I mean, there was nothing, well, there was some inaccuracies, but like, you say that like I'm... What are you even planning on getting if you think that I'm quote-unquote not going to like the art you would get, though. What's it called? The book that I've been lent is called Aurora Rising. Apparently, it is about a space detective going between like different space habitats, all with different how do I describe it? Like different ruling systems and different habitats and all that kind of stuff. So I really want to read it. I hope I can. I hope I can sit down and maybe just like focus and read. But we'll see. I'm not religious, says the angel-ish. You are missing like a key part of my lore. The key part of my lore is that I am a fake angel. I developed in the same circumstances as angels on the edge of the universe, and therefore I look very similar, the same way that animals on Earth can evolve to look very similar despite being completely different species if they are under the same habitats and circumstances. But I specifically disguised myself as an angel, snuck past them, pretended to be them so I could get to Earth. They technically, canonically, they probably would not like me. If my mom saw a Puri stream, she'd probably call them demonic. That's because I'm British. That's because I'm British. Sorry. It's the British in me. It's the demonic nature of my country. You're an imposter? Yeah, I'm sus. I'm sus. Real. Sounds like a demon would do. I'm not a demon. A deceiver? Like a little bit, yeah, sure, but like I'm not malicious. I just wanted, well, probably. I just wanted to come to Earth. It's fine. A trickster? I don't know. I don't know whether I'm really a trickster. Either way, I'm not a real angel. I am a pretend angel. Smuggler angel. Puri is low-key confirmed. Maybe I had no malicious intentions. Like, what does this mean? That's not my exact wording. My intentions for coming to Earth. Wait, you don't even care about lore, Pluvium. Why are you? Why are you? Why are you asking? You're always like, wow, lore, so boring, I'm leaving. I care about lore. You are so back and forth all of the time. Weird type of— I'm not a Homestuck troll. Jesus Christ. This morally grey being from beyond is deceiving you for tells. Are you a Pokemon angel? What are angels in the Pokemon lore? What is the closest Pokemon to an angel? If Arceus is like the god, I guess Azelf? Like the Azelf, Uxie, and I don't remember what the third one's called. Am I like one of them? Mew? No, Mew is like the DNA progenitor to all Pokemon. I don't share any DNA with you guys, I'm sorry. Or angels. I don't even have DNA. A weird creature pretending to be something else. Yeah, okay, maybe. Also, hello, Valentine. Yeah, it will be bedtime story with purity, but unfortunately for everyone, I love yapping. Quote unquote, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on Digimon? I've never really got into Digimon. I know vaguely about it. I have a very approximate knowledge of Digimon. I think it looks kind of cool, but I don't really get it. I've never actually sat down and watched any of it. I've never played any of the games. So I don't have very strong opinions. I think some of the designs are cool. That's about all I can say, I think. Wasn't there a big demonic scale people to try? I mean, maybe it's for the nonna. What do you mean? Every single fandom, every single fan of everything ever has Goonas. What do you mean? That is not Digimon exclusive. Can I entice you with the Deep Rock Galactic game night? It's not very likely. You can try. But existing is difficult, so I don't know if I can promise anything. Some Pokemon fans try to deny it. I mean, I don't think all Pokemon fans are Goonas. Go hard though, a lot of them are very scary women, really? I only know... I will say the most I see of Digimon nowadays is on my Twitter feed. I often see Bat at Video Games posting about the trading card game, I think. Like that's the most I see. So in my head, Digimon also just exists hand in hand with Marco. I don't really know if that's a correct thing to link, but my brain just likes making those connections. I didn't even know Digimon had a trading card game. Oh, I mean, back when I was a kid, I actually ended up with one Digimon card in my collection. I don't know if that's the same trading card game that is the current trading card game for Digimon, or whether they, like, had a reboot or something. I don't actually know, but... 5-year-old who thinks Charmander is cool. No! Hello, Cliff. I didn't know Digimon had it. What do you mean? Yeah, it does. It does. I probably still... my one Digimon card probably still exists somewhere. Probably in the same place as all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards went. So, I mean, God knows where that actually is, but... it exists. Probably. God, what doesn't have a... Come on, keep up. Everything has a trading card game nowadays. If you name an anime, has a trading card game. Gundam has a trading card game now. What else has a trading card game? Everything. I have a trading card game. Yeah, even I have a trading card game. Okay, Oblivion. What, aren't you like a Magic the Gathering player? Oh god, actually no, everything is in a trading card game because Magic has like 1,000,000 collabs with freaking everything. But I feel like between Magic the Gathering and Fortnite, like every single fictional universe is connected. Like, what the hell? God bless all of them for having Miku. Miku is eternal. Miku will be in everything. I can't believe that Miku has started being described as a Fortnite idol. It's like, whoa, whoa there, whoa there. Not quite. Not a Magic player though. if Miku is in... What do you mean? She's right there! She's right there. God bless Miku. Anyway. Media types aside. They made Miku from Fortnite real? Yeah. Miku from Fortnite, creator of Minecraft. Hit star of Mesmerizer, which for some reason everyone in the Vocaloid community has decided they want to hate on. If Homestuck Trials got added to Fortnite, would you play? No. No. That would be so toxic. That would be so toxic. I feel like that's an actual chance of... I feel like before Homestuck would get added to Fortnite, Has Been Hotel would have to get added to Fortnite. Let me know if Has Been Hotel gets added to Fortnite, because I will not be looking. And then I'll be like, okay, maybe they will add Homestuck. But if Has Been Hotel doesn't end up in it, then I don't think Homestuck will. And I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. Ugh. I feel like it wouldn't even be the trolls that would end up in Fortnite. It would be like John putting... Oh god, actually you're right. I feel like... No, I think you're right. I feel like the Amazing Digital Circus has a pretty high chance of getting added into Fortnite. Oh my god. I like in RuneScape Gold. 10 million gold. You might want to bet higher than that. I feel like with inflation, that's not actually that much. Can you even buy a bond for that much anymore? Anyway. Hi guys. How we doing? My mouse issue is not fully resolved, but they are a lot quieter. I feel like they are mostly dead. I'm instead being tormented by the new cat, which I have affectionately started referring to in my head as Hellraiser, which I think sums up what happens whenever she decides to come into my room. I love how cat paws. I don't know what it is about cats, but I think there is a magnet between the power button and cat paws. They really love to stand on computer power buttons. Oh yeah, I mean she's tiny, she's cute, she's adorable, but by god, she loves rustling around my room when I'm busy or trying to sleep. And for only first mission, more time in it than all priest quests. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna read. Is really shameless? Yes. Yes it is. But I don't care, because I love paladins. The story this time, the story of Tomoda and Matsunaga is a little bit longer than the rest of the short stories in this book. So this is probably going to take multiple sessions, multiple streams. That's fine. I for the first time now. What? Why did that response make you know what hatred is? Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna question it. It's fine. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read until at least I reach like the second sector of this book. This is specifically in the Japan and the West section. I can't join the Puri Guild until there's another viewer in it. Hugs so desperately trying to find another viewer playing EU Stormscale. Reset tonight. Get to do all the raids. Get to do all the raids next week. Yippee. Unironically costs like $4. It's only £10 in my currency. Have to promise to play with me to get me to try. I'm gonna read. You guys can keep on talking about discussing WoW. That's fine. Please let me know. No. I mean, dropping that shit like it's fun. What does that? Okay, whatever. Your hits. No. Everyone, come run Dragon Soul with me. So that if any of us get the mount drops, you can trade it to me, because I really want any of the mounts from that raid, because they won't drop. Anyway, I'm gonna read. Please feel free to get some sleep. Let me know if anything's wrong with the audio. I do not raid at the end of these streams, so you're safe to fall asleep. There will not be any disruptions or loud noises that will wake you up. Get something to eat, get something to drink. Take your meds, get some rest. You see viewers to farm. Listen, I've done over a year's worth of Dragon Soul. No, there are 3 mounts that dropped from it and none of them have ever dropped for me. Okay, I'm getting desperate. Anyway, I'm reading. I'll respond to you guys can keep talking, but I will respond to everything after I've at least finished the first section of this book. Okay. Ow. I just elbowed my desk. 5 or 6 years ago, on 25th of August 1920 to be precise, I received a letter from the old province of Yamato, from a woman I had never met by the name of Shigeko. I'm able to specify the date here because, even after all these years, I still have the letter in my possession. I don't normally bother to read the many letters that arrive on my doorstep from people I don't know, most of them from bookish young men and women desperate to share their love of literature. When I'm busy, I simply bundle them up and leave them to languish unread in the corner of my study. But something about this letter filled me with a strange urge to open it right away. It had been addressed, not in pen, but with an ink brush, and the sender's name and address were in a hand that had an unmistakable air of old-fashioned elegance and grace. Mrs. Matsunaga Gisuke, Yagyu Village, Soekami District, Yamato Province. One look at the envelope was enough to assure me that it contained something more than yet another letter from a young woman with literary aspirations. The letter is a long one, but I will not let that prevent me from quoting it here in its entirety. Its contents go to the very heart of the story I have to tell. Dear Sir, I hope this finds you in good health despite the oppressive heat. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the wife of Matsunaga Gisuke, a resident of the village of Yagyu in the province of Yamato. I have never had the pleasure of making your acquaintance, and I realize that it must seem the height of bad manners for me to be troubling you with an unsolicited letter in this way. I hope you will be kind enough to bear with me as I attempt to describe the curious sequence of events that have led me to write to you now. I married into the Matsunaga family in 1905 when my husband was 25 and I was 18. As the eldest son, my husband had been away in Tokyo for several years before we married and had recently graduated from Waseda University. His family has farmed the land in this village for many generations, and even after our marriage, he did not have any particular work to occupy him. For the first 6 months or so, we lived a happy and peaceful life together. In the winter of that year, however, my husband's elderly mother passed away, and his behaviour began to change in a quite distressing manner. He took to bemoaning the fate that had left him to grow old here in the countryside. He left home whenever he could, travelling to Kyoto and Osaka at every opportunity in an attempt to lift himself out of his depression. Things continued in this way until the summer of 1906, when I was expecting our first child. Quite suddenly, he announced with an air of unshakable resolve that he was leaving to go abroad, and that he planned to spend a year or two travelling in the West. Of course, I was appalled. The whole family was. We did everything we could to remonstrate with him, and oppose his idea in the strongest terms. But alas, our efforts were in vain. Nothing we said had the slightest effect on his determination to leave. I heard from my husband not once in all the time he was away. None of us heard from him for any more than 3 years. I was struggling to bring up my daughter on my own, wondering what on earth had become of him, when he returned in the autumn of 1909 just as suddenly as he had left. I'm pausing, I've read this before. I remember this one. I've read this one. This is... He comes back as if as nothing's happened, and then he's got like a double life. Yeah! 'Cause the author knows... I've read this! I've read this whole thing! Yeah, this is the one with all the brothels. And the author who specifically like does know this man. Yeah, and near the end, he actually, the writer goes to meet the wife. Should I? No, this is already on my channel somewhere. Spoilers? It's not spoilers. It's already on my channel somewhere. I don't know where. Also. Yeah. Do you think yeah! I may not have remembered Hell Screen literally at all, to the point that I'm still like question mark about it. But given that this is the first story in the book, I feel like I've definitely read this one before as well. Well, no, I know 100%. I just flicked through and I was like, yeah, I've definitely read these lines before. Time to start the lore. Well, there's still more stories in here that I haven't read. I mean, we can start. If you guys wanna. If we want to stop reading the Japanese book, we can take a pause on it. I just need to like actually remember what I've read from this book before. Do I need to go through all my previous reading streams? No, I don't, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 streams of reading the Penguin Book of Japanese short stories before. So if I click onto those... Oh no, one of those is British. Okay, we ignore the British one. 4... No. It's legal to read the same thing twice. No, when I remember it! If I don't remember it, it's fine, but if I do remember it, then it bothers me. Please let your viewers into subscribing to EU servers. I've already done my best to lure all my friends into subscribing into EU servers. Read War of the Ancients, please. It's so peem. So sometimes you get too frustrated with others say, oh. God damn it. God damn it. Love my boy Malfurion. I only have the Chronicle. You probably I don't hate night elves. They're the source of a lot of problems. They are the source of a lot of problems. But I don't hate them. Okay, interesting. There's a lot of things in World of Warcraft that used to be night elves, but now are like problem causes, okay? Alright, what was next? Bros? I did not! Malfurion? Malfurion? God, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I heard it too. Okay, listen, I just don't know how to pronounce some guy's name. Alright, what is next? "1951. The Night Elves will take great offense to this. Night Elves can... My pawn is torn so venison. I don't know about this. Hey, I may have done the BFA quests. I may have been there, but okay. No comment. No comment. Also, hello numbers. Okay, let me find the next story in this book instead. No, I'll read. Meeting. No, I'm not going to Goldshire. That's Alliance land as well. I'm not. Why would I go there? Here we go. Modern Life and Other Nonsense, page 249. Here we go. Alright. You know what? That is a reasonable. That is a reason to visit Goldshire, to burn it down. Yeah. No, I don't go to Goldshire. Also, I'm Horde, so that would literally like flag me for PvP. So, no thanks. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna try reading again. Okay, you can have your Puri Gosling Goldshire meetup, but I'm not involved, okay? I'm not involved. Okay, so instead, I'm not gonna read the story that I I said, because I've already read it. Instead, I'm going to read Mr. English by Genji Keita. Do not try. Okay. Well, you guys. Okay. I'm just gonna start reading, and you guys can. It's fine. It's fine. The day after it happened, word spread through the company that Mr. English, Mogi Soichiro, and the assistant director's assistant, Oda Yoshiro, had slugged it out at the conclusion of a heated argument in the bar Heiroku. So they finally did it, someone shouted with a loud clap. But Mogi was 57, Oda 52. At the very least, this was no way for mature men to behave. Everybody found the whole thing ridiculous, especially when they heard that Mogi not only had to be rushed to a nearby hospital with blood gushing from his wound, but that he also went home with layer upon layer of white bandaging around his head. Nobody needed a witness to tell them who was at fault. It had to be Mogi. Mogi was a temporary employee, as he had been ever since joining the company 20 years earlier. This seemed to be the chief source of pain in his life, but he at least stopped complaining about it in recent years, because a company rule gave temp status even to regular employees who stayed on past the mandatory retirement age of 55. It would be hasty to conclude, however, that just because he was no longer grumbling, Mogi had managed to sweep away the deep-seated dissatisfaction he felt towards the company for having kept him on temporary status up until the age of 55. Not only was the difference like night and day between regular and temporary staff with regard to both bonus size and severance pay, but each day Mogi reported to work, he had to press his seal in the attendance register below the name of even the most recently hired office girl. What do they take me for? Mogi would mutter each morning when he pressed his seal in the register, after which he would make a point of tossing the book to the far end of the table. It turned his stomach to see the untroubled faces of those youngsters fresh from college who glided into the top ranks of the registry, contemptuous of his 20 years of hard work. He had to find a way to amaze each one with a show of his outstanding abilities. "Hey, young fella, they tell me you're a college graduate," he would accost a newcomer, usually in the company lounge. Yes, I am," the young man would reply with a proud swelling of the chest, though, of course, all the other newcomers were college graduates too. "Then your English is probably pretty good." No, excuse me, it must be pretty good. "So let me ask you a question." At this point, the typical newcomer would fasten a suspicious gaze on the short, scrawny, and obviously nasty old Mogi, who, despite his advanced age, did not appear to be either a department manager or a general manager, much less a company director. "How do you say Keigun no Ikaku in English?" "Huh? That sounds more like Chinese than Japanese. What's Keigun?" "A flock of chickens." "And Ikaku?" "A crane, of course." "A crane and a flock of chickens?" "Exactly. So how would you translate that into English?" "Come on. You don't know, eh? Too bad. Here's an easier one. Abata mo ekubo." Even her pockmarks are dimples to him? You want an English phrase for that? That's too hard. Too hard? It couldn't be any easier. Ravu is blindo. Love is blind? No, I get it. But you should get it. You're a college graduate after all, but you don't know a thing. What good are you? You'd better hit the books. I guess I should. The bewildered newcomer could only scratch his head and blush, To think the first thing he had done on entering the company was to embarrass himself before the veteran members of staff who usually gathered around. Once Moggy had marched off in triumph, though, one of the older men would snicker, "He's got you," and explain that Moggy was the temp who worked as the company's English consultant, which only made the new man feel worse. Far from winning Moggy the respect he thought he deserved, this technique only succeeded in convincing newcomers that he was a hateful old man. Moggy was not a college graduate. In fact, his only education after primary school was the training he received at Dr. Saito's English Academy. Nothing much is known about his subsequent efforts to learn English, but he presented himself as an expert, and was in fact quite good at the language. As long as they had Moggy, the company was never at a loss in its negotiations with foreigners. That a man of such ability could never convince them to raise his status from temporary to permanent was certainly due in part to his truncated academic career, but the main reason should be made clear by the following episode. On this occasion, Moggy had put a newcomer in his place as usual. He had done it at that time not with even her pockmarks are dimples to him, but bancha mo debana. The bloom of youth makes even the plainest girl attractive. Moggy was walking off, pleased with himself, when this particular young man vented his frustration by yelling at him from behind. "Hey, you paper doggo, you!" Moggy whirled round in shock. With his English expertise, he was well prepared to deal with something like hot dog, but this paper doggo was new. "What did you say to me?" he demanded. "Paper doggo. Paper doggo?" Even the great Mr. English could only cock his head in puzzlement. "Don't get it, eh? Oh, that's too bad," the young man declared, obviously mocking Moggy's earlier tone with him. "You do know what a paper is, don't you?" Moggy could do little more than reply, "Paper is paper. Yes, that's kami in Japanese, for your information. So how about dog?" "Dog is dog," Moggy answered with annoyance. "Excellent, and dog in Japanese is inu. Or perhaps you knew that already. So paper dogu should be translated as kami inu in Japanese, wouldn't you say?" "Kami inu?" "Yes, or perhaps I should say that in English for you, iesu. And since kami can mean biting as well as paper, a kami inu is a yappy little dog that bites everybody and anybody. A biting dog. I'm sure you get it. They call you Mr. English, but you don't know a thing, do you? You'll have to do better than that." "You son of a—" Moggy, now livid, sprang at the newcomer, but a moment later he found himself sitting on the floor. The young man had been a sumo wrestler at college. Moggy looked up at his beefy adversary, aware that he had chosen to tangle with the wrong person. He left the building then and there, which later gave rise to considerable ridicule. When Kazama Kyota dropped by the Heiroku that evening, he found Moggy there. "That bastard called me a paper dogu. He was making fun of me," Moggy whined to the landlady as he drowned his sorrows in sake, eventually slumping to the table in a drunken stupor. Kyoto still thought of Moggy as a nasty old man, but he found the sight of Moggy, lying there fast asleep, so sad and lonely that what should have been the pleasant effect of a nighttime drink was obliterated by a deep sense of the transitory nature of all human life. It later came out that the young newcomer had been put on guard against Moggy by the assistant director's assistant, Oda Yoshiro. The news made Moggy so furious he tried to bite Oda's head off. The Oda was too big-hearted to take him seriously. From that day onwards, he became the object of Moggy's smouldering resentment. Paper dog. Everyone at the company was delighted that the young man had nailed Moggy so perfectly. A true biting dog, He was always trying to sink his fangs into people. He scattered curses everywhere he went, angry at the world. Quite naturally, people kept their distance from him, the company directors being no exception. Surely it made perfect sense that they never promoted Moggy from temporary to full-time. This no doubt encouraged his inborn nasty personality to develop ever more paper dog-like tendencies, yet the bosses never went so far as to fire him, probably because they recognized the true value of his work as Mr. English. Kazama Kyoto first began to suspect that he should see Moggy in a new light after Moggy was called upon to translate a draft application he had written under the Corporate Rehabilitation and Reorganization Law. When it became necessary to explain the gist of the application to the occupation authorities, Moggy went with one of the directors in Kyoto and translated for them into fluent English. It was a thrill to watch him cross swords with the American officer, never backing down an inch. He was magnificent. Whether or not Moggy fully grasped the contents of the application, he seemed to double everything the director said. If the director spoke for 5 minutes, Moggy stretched it out to 10. He was clearly exceeding his authority, but Kyoto had never seen him perform with such gusto, and he realized that Moggy's thick-skinned approach was the only way to make the other side fully grasp what the company wanted. Of course, such a brash attitude on the part of a mere interpreter might have backfired, but the application was accepted, and Kyoto came out of the deal looking good. "Now, this has given me a whole new appreciation of your abilities," Kyoto said to Moggy. "Hey, what are you talking about? You've got some nerve making fun of an old man." "No, seriously. I'm very grateful for what you've done." Huh. Moggy made as if to pass off Kyoto's praise with a snort, but he was obviously very pleased by it. In fact, he soon came up with an outlandish suggestion. "If you're really so grateful, why don't you become my apprentice?" "Don't be ridiculous." "No, really. I was just thinking I'd like to have an apprentice." "What a terrible idea," Kyoto said with a feeble smile, hoping that this was just a one-time joke. But Moggy, perhaps because he was kept at a distance by everyone else, started dropping by Kyoto's desk at least once a day to proclaim for all to hear that he wanted the younger man to become his apprentice. Kyoto was floored by this, especially when some of the other men began calling him Mr. Apprentice. Needless to say, Moggy had none of the dignity of an apprentice's master. Whenever he called Kyoto his apprentice, Kyoto would think of the sad face of the sleeping, drunken Moggy he had seen that night in the Heiroku. Perhaps it was that loneliness that caused Moggy to give the apprentice label to someone who had shown him the slightest kindness. Kyoto thought he could understand what Moggy was feeling. One day, however, Kyoto had decided he had had enough. "I want you to stop calling me your apprentice," he declared. "You have never once given me the special consideration that a true master should show his apprentice." "You've got some nerve picking a fight with your master." "My master? We've never formally shared a cup of sake to seal the bond. The least you should do is treat me to some major drinking. And now you're trying to twist my arm. You bet I am." Kyoto had more or less forgotten this confrontation when, a few days later, Moggy announced, "Get ready for some heavy drinking tonight, apprentice." No, I was just joking," Kyoto said, flustered. "Too late for that now," Moggy declared. "I'm not letting you get away." And indeed, that night Moggy dragged the protesting Kyoto to the Heiroku. Located in Osaka's lively Umeda district, Heiroku was an absolutely ordinary bar, but it was the one most often frequented by employees of the company. It had disappeared for a time after the bombing flattened the city centre, but the landlady had reopened a year earlier near the original spot. Her husband, Heiroku, had been drafted and killed in the war, and she was apparently still a widow. If anything, she had put on new curves after losing her husband, and at 37 or 38 was sexier than ever. The men from the office often said what a waste it would be to leave her a widow, and talked amongst themselves about who might be the first to win her. But what really attested to her character was her policy of never overcharging her customers. Moggy announced to the landlady straight off, "This fellow is going to become my apprentice tonight. My first one. If I'm Robin Hood, he'll be my little John. Be nice to him." "Oh my goodness," she exclaimed with a look of amazement. "Is that true, Mr. Kazuma?" "Oh well, Mom, I wasn't really planning on this, but you know how you can get yourself into trouble just by opening your mouth? I feel like a prisoner of war tonight." Kyota's sullen scowl only seemed to energize Moggy. "Too late for that," he crowed. "Bring the sake right away, Mom, please." "Yes, sir." As soon as the hot sake arrived, Moggy lifted the ceramic bottle and held it out, ready to pour for Kyota. "All right, apprentice, here comes our ceremonial cup." Kyota had no choice but to lift his sake cup for Moggy to fill. "As soon as you're done, hand the cup to me." "All right, here it is." Kyota handed the empty cup to Moggy and filled it up for him. "That does it," Moggy said after draining the cup. "Now you're my apprentice." In high spirits, Moggy drank a lot that night. And, most unusually for him, he talked a lot about the past. He had been born into a poor family in the old Tamatsukuri district of Osaka, and between the ages of 13 and 16 had spent 4 hard years in service to a dry goods store in Kita Kyuhojimachi. Recognizing that this was leading nowhere, he left for Tokyo with high hopes. There, while studying at the English Academy, he served as a student houseboy at the office of the prominent party politician Hoshitoru, which was the area where the NHK Broadcasting headquarters now stand. In this houseboy position, he had been preceded by such important politicians as Akita Kiyoshi and Maeda Yonezo. Next, he boarded a ship to China, where he worked as a newspaper reporter, then quickly joined that small band of Japanese adventurers who wandered the continent, involving themselves behind the scenes in politically and diplomatically sensitive issues. All the while, he worked on polishing his English. Eventually, he returned to Japan and went to work for the company on a temporary basis. Oda Yoshiro was another temporary hire from around that time. "That damned Oda's a clever bastard the way he got them to hire him full-time in his 5th year," Moggy growled. 20 years had gone by since the company had linked capital and technical forces with the top-flight American company IES. Moggy had been hired to help with these negotiations. Once they were completed, however, Moggy found himself being chewed out by the director. "All you're supposed to do is give an honest translation of whatever I say. Today, though, you are not only getting involved where you shouldn't have been offering your own opinions. And you call yourself an interpreter?" Then, when the war was coming, and Japan strengthened the foreign exchange control law, the company was ordered by the army to increase the number of its shares, which necessitated some difficult discussions with IES's chief stockholder. That time too, Moggy found himself being reprimanded after the negotiations. "Are you Japanese? Is some other company paying your salary? In today's negotiations, you are clearly taking the side of an enemy country. Do you see what I'm saying?" Kyota immediately recognized that this was the very kind of thing for which Moggy would be likely to be admonished, but he could also easily picture a mortified Moggy glaring back at the boss all the while. Once the war was underway, the company no longer needed English, and rumour suggested that they would never need it again. Instead, the study of Malay took off. Understandably, it must have been a stressful time for Moggy. Under normal circumstances, a Mr. English might have been fired as a useless luxury. Yet Moggy was kept on, thanks less to the director's foresight, in all probability, than to a sort of paternalism that prevails at large companies. Moggy must have sensed this. At least, it is not hard to imagine that he felt a good deal of anguish, knowing how dim his prospects of finding a new job were at his age. Still, although he never went so far as to say that Japan was going to lose the war, he earned ever greater disapproval in the company by circulating his outrageous view that America would never lose. In the end, though, of course, Japan did lose, ushering in the Age of English Almighty. The only thing this did for Moggy was vastly increase the amount of work he had to do. He still remained the temp they called Mr. English, a paper dog, as lonely after the war as he had been before. The more he heard Moggy's stories of the old days, the less inclined Kyoto felt to resist being called apprentice by him. "Shut up, apprentice! Look here, apprentice! Hey you, apprentice!" The obvious joy with which he yelled at Kyoto revealed how completely Moggy had let his guard down. If Moggy was going to call him apprentice so affectionately, Kyoto was willing to let him get away with it. Moggy's knowledge of English never showed up in the form of affected Americanisms. When drunk enough to start singing, he never sang English songs, but traditional Japanese shrine pilgrimage songs, or the standard lively drinking tunes. In any case, tonight he had drunk too much. "You better stop," the landlady said, worried. He instantly complied with her suggestion, but just as quickly started begging for just one more. As a result, when it was time for him to go home, he was totally intoxicated, so woozy that there was no question of sending him off alone. They managed to load him into a cab, but he simply lay there unconscious. Kyoto wanted to ride with him, but he didn't know Moggy's address. "Well then, I'll go with you," the landlady said, climbing right in as soon as she put the barmaid in charge. "I know where he lives." This seemed like more than simple kindness on the part of a landlady, but once the cab started moving, she mumbled an explanation to the effect that she had seen him home the night he drank himself into oblivion after being called a paper dog. I'm gonna pause there. That's not the end of the story, but it goes for another 20 pages, so I will pause there and then read the rest of it next time. When you finish reading, I'm going to ask you your opinions on the Anya Nendo drama. Oh, the mouth-washing, read it now. I don't really have any opinions on the drama other than I think it was blown kind of ridiculously out of proportion. Hag appreciation is eternal. Yeah, that part caught me off guard. That sudden, like seemingly random description of, oh yeah, by the way, the landlady is hot as hell. Like, alright, I guess, sure. Sure, why not? I don't know. Maybe that'll be important later in the story. Yeah, Moggy is an interesting character so far. I feel like this story has a lot of, here's a nasty guy. We're gonna kind of like show him in a bad light, but like, he's not the worst guy in the universe, by the way, but you know, he's still a nasty guy, we don't really like him. By the way, set that aside. Yeah, maybe I should go and look at what stories I've already read from this book. Because that was... It's very weird starting to read something and be just like get the biggest sense of deja vu. The reason why I didn't keep on reading it, I'm the type of person that I don't tend to... If I've watched a film, I don't watch it again. If I've read a book, I don't read it again. Even a lot of the time if I play a game, like, I don't often replay it. Like, a lot of the time, if there's some kind of narrative, like, I don't go through it again. Unless I've entirely forgotten. Same square in RuneScape. I don't do the same quests again though. In fact, you can see that because I've got barely any of the quests done in RuneScape 3 because I don't really want to do all the RuneScape, the original RuneScape 2 quests because I've already done them and it's kind of boring to me. Scaling is different though. Scaling is number go up. I love number go up. I don't know. Just one of my many little annoying traits. IRL on a stream. Lightning maybe? Or, fun fact. It's the 5th of November. It's my favourite holiday of the year. Wait, I haven't heard anything about... Wait, is there a bonfire party this year? I need to message my dad. I need to message my father. Is there not a bonfire party this year? I haven't been told. I need to find out. It's like the only time of the year that I see my family. Happy bonfire night. Thank you. I'm actually surprised. Yeah, there haven't been any fireworks. I mean, it is technically the night of the 4th. Like it's like the next night that is technically bonfire night. But probably there'll be loads of fireworks this Saturday. But yeah, what the hell? Why is... Hold on. Maybe this is my fault. Maybe this is because I don't use Facebook. And so my family can't get in touch with me. Hold on. Why don't my family use Facebook? No, there's no... What? What's going on? What's going on? What the hell is the name of the guy who hosts it? Oh, there he is. Sorry, I just came... Okay, I just went on the Facebook profile of my family member, who is the one who usually hosts Bonfire Night, and I just... Apparently his son, who is about my age, has started a YouTube channel to teach his dad how to play Minecraft? Now I'm saying that because I think there's like a million of those kind of channels. I think this isn't gonna dox me. There is like 5 million I made my parents play Minecraft. But that just caught me so off guard. To see. Collab soon? No. Raid him? No. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be— oh, it was at the... Yeah, remember the 5th of November. When I was younger, I always used to struggle with remembering if it was remember the 5th of November or the 4th of November, because, like, there's nothing that really specifies what the number is. Yearns to celebrate the drawing and quartering of a dude. I mean, I do be drawing, and I do be a fan of quartering. I'm trying to think of a better way to say that, but there isn't really. No, I just like bonfires, and I just think it's a fun holiday. Also, you know, shout out to him for giving it his best shot. One of my biggest red flags is being a fan of me. What? What? I don't know how I'm supposed to take that. I don't know how I'm supposed. Is that a red flag? Maybe it is. Can you quarter me? No. Bonfires are for the midsummer. We don't really have midsummer festivals here in the UK, though. Listen, if we had them, then I'd probably be a big fan, but we don't really do midsummer festivals. Goro Cat good, thank you. I'm actually really disappointed with myself. I didn't draw anywhere near as much horror stuff for Halloween. For Gortober, but you know, we don't really have summers that either. I mean, we do nowadays. That's why I have to get my aircon out. Will there be a birthday stream? How dare you remember? I have been kind of avoiding thinking about that. I don't know. There will probably be a stream, but honestly I probably won't really do anything special. I've been so stressed from like the pests in my house, that I don't want to like risk frazzling myself, so I'm probably just going to do like a normal stream, or maybe play like Choice Chamber or something. Nothing super fancy, just... Was you're ancient? You guys are so mean to me. Context for those who, I don't know off the top of my head. My birthday is the 13th of November, so technically it's in like a week and a couple days. I'm turning 29. I'm not a hag. I'm turning 29. You can't... It's still over a year, okay? Don't get ahead of yourselves. Basically did not draw any. You drew, you did draw one at least, didn't you? I feel like I saw at least one. I have bad memory though, so maybe we shouldn't quote or believe anything I said. 8 days and some hours. Shall we make a selection in case you wanted to? What are you implying? No, I'm fine with becoming a wizard, thank you. You can't just say that to someone. No real world use found for drawing. But I like it. And I like drawing. I mean, you did, but like, consider if you should have. No. I will be accepting my wizardry, thank you. Good God. Either way, I don't know. You should I'm not drawing at all your art. You enjoying drawing it? I have a love-hate relationship with drawing, okay? It's a love-hate. I've been trying to think about this week's stream. I want to stream on Thursday. I haven't made a schedule because, I mean, number one, I knew I wasn't going to be streaming on Monday because of my singing lesson. But also, I still haven't actually worked out what I want to do on Thursday. I'm like, oh, I could do my colour wheel. You know, my colour wheel I've now done the second phase of the sketches for pink. They are ready to line. There's also the macaron, the made macaron drawing that I could continue. However, I also got a new light for my crafting desk. My mum won a light. I talked about it last week, and I now have that set up. So now my crafting desk is like way brighter, and I primed a bunch of stuff, so it's all like ready to paint. But then also, like now it's starting to get cooler. The temperature's starting to get more tolerable. I can use my VR. Like if I get my chat working in VR, then I can play Beat Saber on stream. Although currently my halberd, so if you don't know about mice, mice are able to squeeze through very small spaces. Now they can't come into my room very well because they are in the cupboards around my room. However, one of the doors to one of the cupboards, the wood has warped, and I tried to sellotape it shut. But the warping is too much. So I took my halberd off the wall and I jammed it into the corner of the cupboard on one side, into like a cushion, a box, and then my crafting desk on the other side. So my halberd is literally the biggest trip hazard across it's literally right behind me. Like, I cannot take a step in my room between my computer and everything else without basically tripping over my halberd. And I don't really want to move it until the mice are gone. So, I don't know whether I can do Beat Saber at the moment until I maybe remove that, but obviously I don't want to remove it until I know the mice are gone, so... Get a pet owl like Harry Potter. You know, you've got to have a raptor license to have an owl, I'm pretty sure. Like, you have to be... I don't have a license for that. Literally don't have a license. Beat Saber with a halberd would go hard. You're right, it would. And there are special Beat Saber maps that you play specifically with, like, one saber, so to speak. Get a cat then? I literally have two. There are literally two in my house. One has the hunting instinct of a mushroom. Actually, they might have pretty good hunting instincts, they're just weird. A hunting instinct of a plankton. And the other is a problem. Anyway, I've already started poisoning the mice, so if a cat ate one of the mice now, it might get poisoned. What is this? Wow! Wait, this pose makes me kind of nostalgic. There's something I drew like a million years ago. Yoink. Save. Thank you. Why would bro poison mice if they have cats? Because the cats aren't doing the freaking job! Also because the mice like weren't coming into my room for the longest time. Hunt them yourself? Okay, that's what the poison is for. Either way, they're much quieter than you were. It's being sorted out. I just don't want to give them access into my room. Show me whatever secret thing you just saved. It's your fault for not having my Twitch chat open. if you don't multi-chat drift, what are you even doing? Huh? You gotta tell the cats they do have a license. Anyway, it's fine. It's being sorted out. So yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing on Thursday. At all. Still no idea. It's fine. I should paint. It's been a while. You don't have all the secret purity Discord open during stream, you miss a bunch of context. I'm not. When are you guys gonna let me into the secret purity Discord? I want to know. I want to know what's going on in the secret purity Discord. Let me in. Let me in. I'm not a. What are you? Oh my god, temptress! Cat in heels? I'm not really a big, like, stiletto heels are just how to break my ankles. It wouldn't be a secret if you were in there. God damn it! It's not exactly safe for work. You have a not safe for work secret purity server? What the hell, guys? That's just rude. It's so impolite. I saw you, flushed emoji user. Oh, let me make like a secret viewer account so I can join the secret not safe for work purity Discord. I'm curious. I wanna look. I wanna look. Let me look. You didn't know? Insomniac is like, what do you mean? I'm scared. Impersonating a viewer is a bannable offense. I wouldn't impersonate a different viewer. I'd just be some random unknown. It's fine. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Sad. You can impersonate me? You want a viewer! You want a viewer either, numbers! No, wait. Numbers. Do you realize that you're making it sound like you are in the secret purity code where they post not safe for work? Because I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to say that that's what you're doing. The heresy going on right now, it is. I mean... I want to say that I do not believe this is a real server that exists, but also I have heard of people making secret fan servers for VTubers, even for indie VTubers. So at the same time, it's not completely out of the question. Listen, I have one requirement, guys, and that is I want to see. I don't care if it's unsuitable. If art is made of me, I want it needs to go into my collection, even if it's vastly inappropriate. Okay, it's my rule. I'm a hoarder of art. My dark scab arc. Man, I miss Scab. Puts my hand on the screen. I mean, Scab's obviously right there, but I'm trying to be sensible with my funds. I'm trying to be so sensible with my funds. You'll never get my— What?! Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Throw— You want me to put Skeb funds on Throne again? I don't even know who I want Skebs from, because I honestly, like, I try not to look at it because I know I'll be tempted. The internet is great. Can you believe that someone would just go on the internet to tell lies? Not safe for work. Biblically accurate ? True. I don't know. For me, it's so hard, like, figuring out who to Skeb. Like, so specifically, for— was it Christmas? Was it— for Christmas or something, my mum actually gave me a little bit of money to buy a piece of art on Skeb. That's what I'm trying to find out, Pluvium! That's what I'm trying to find out! But yeah, my mum gave me a bit of money to buy a Skeb, and I was so troubled, like, trying to find, like, an artist to commission. Can't you just draw something instead of commissioning other people? Okay, but I specifically try and commission people better than me. People who can draw things that I can't. I wonder what the folder is called for. I do not have a specific folder, however on my toy house I believe it's literally just titled ? Hold on, I need to look at my toy house, I forgot. Well, not even better but different. Yeah! I love seeing all the different styles that Puri into how can be drawn in, and Virtue. I thought being an artist meant you could draw anything? God, I wish. God, I wish. The photo was the craziest thing I ever received. Yeah, it's literally called ? Yeah, on my toy house where I try to store every single piece of art I've received, I fail. I fail because I'm really bad at keeping track of, like, everything I've received. I save stuff and then I don't upload it, and then I forget stuff, or then stuff's uploaded on Twitter and it's in weird formats and whatever. It's never gonna be complete, but it's as close to complete that I can get. But yeah, right at the very bottom there is a section that's just like not safe for work art. But I have to authorize people to be able to see it. There's art in the general section that should be in the question mark section. Okay, number one, the gore is not going in the question mark section. Okay, maybe you think the one where I'm literally being, like, sliced in half should be in the question mark section. I refuse. It's tagged. It's got the gore warning. It's got the gore warning. What about the— wait, what Dojin? What? I don't know what that is, Barry. I don't know what you're talking about. Cat's missing somewhere in the house. Okay, as long as she's in the house. Good luck finding her. Going in the exclamation mark smiley section. Maybe I should have a section for an exclamation mark smiley section for bloody stuff. It's the one who— oh, that piece? It's not really explicit though. Like, it's borderline. It's borderline, okay. I think I didn't retweet that on my Twitter because I felt like it was too borderline, but yeah, I didn't put it in the question mark section. I don't really know where to— I don't really know. It's in a grey area to me. If anything, I have been informed that the tanned piece has been way more dangerous for people, and I would I have been told that that piece has really tested some people's strength of will. But I'm trying to be like, when I sort things into categories, I'm trying to be very objective. Also, the Bunira. Oh god, that's. Honestly, that might have been uploaded before I even had the question mark section. Nothing's actually on view though. Yeah, nothing's actually on view. Full tans do nothing. There's some tan lines. Yeah, it's supposed to be like Brazilian, like like Brazilian Miku. When was the last time you actually got a tan? I've never had a tan. I've burnt before, but even when the burn faded, like my skin wasn't tan. It just turned red. It peeled off, and I was still ghost white underneath. There is a photo of me from a school sports day where I was literally sat outside the entire day, in a t-shirt. And yeah, I still didn't tan. I don't think I even burnt that specific day, even though it was like literally sunny all day. Also slightly. Okay, no, but okay. I don't think armpits are. I know armpits are explicit to some people, but not to me. It's not going in the question mark mode. The question mark stuff is like way more. Like the stuff in the question mark section is like actually stuff showing, not implied, not suggested. Like it's there. Never had a tanninator and now you're gonna combust instead of. I've always combusted instead of tanning though. I'm very pale. I've always been very pale. I've always been very weak to sun. I'm very fair-skinned. So yeah, I will never full on emulation. To be fair, also, it's actually potentially in my genetics that I could develop vitiligo. So it's actually in my best interest to stay as pale as possible because then you will not be able to tell what parts of my skin have lost pigment. So it's in my best interest to also just avoid the sun. Just avoid the sun. The Japanese have successfully sexualized armpits. It's dangerous, like. Hold on. Unlock. That was the wrong layer. Like, my outfits. I'm actually surprised I have not ended up with much of that, like, genre. I don't know whether I'm thankful or not. It was not something I had in mind when I came up with this outfit, I will be honest, but huh. British quote. Why are we British quote unquote peopling? Where's my book? Put my book. I need my book back. Has a mix. Wait. All my art is there, okay? You can save it and you can make a folder with whatever mix of ecchi and edo-y stuff you want, okay? okay? That's up to you. Because you don't tan. I'm never going to tan. The only way I would tan, the only way I would look tan, okay, is by doing the classic 2010 chav orange spray tan. That's the only way that I would look tan. Like, I have 2 shades that my skin can be, and that is pale and that is red. What is a chav? A chav is a person who... Let me just look up a definition. Define chav. A young person of a type characterized by a coarse and brash behavior. An antisocial youth who dresses in sportswear. Often implying ill-mannered behavior, violence, and rude and informal speech patterns. Are they the British equivalent of hot Cheeto girls? I suppose so. You know what else is pale? The Bangladeshis are becoming direct sunlight. People have always made jokes about me being a vampire. My entire life. People have made jokes about me being a vampire. And my dad. My dad has also always had jokes about being a vampire. It doesn't help, I'm also very sensitive to light in general. Like, if it's sunny, my eyes will hurt really fast. I have to wear sunglasses. My dad always has to wear sunglasses, like even when it's cloudy, if it's too bright. Obnoxious LA hot Cheeto girl, an incredibly loud but emotionally vacant JP Gyaru girl, Yuri. You're making... You know what? I could see it. You're fashioned. I know. I dress. Literally, some of my clothes are from a website called Dracula Clothing. Like, I know I'm not helping my own case. It's fine. It's fine. Nyanpire. Yeah. But I'm not a vampire. Do not. I may seem like one. I may have a lot in common with vampires. And I'm not a vampire. So bad. I can't tell when you are being sincere and when you are being sarcastic. Yeah, no. It doesn't bother me that people are like, vampire! But I'm not a vampire. Oh my god, I should sing that song. I should sing that I'm not a vampire song at some point. It's going to be funny. Are those teeth fang extensions? Is this not enough for you? I've already got little fangs. Why is this not good? Is this not good enough for you? Is this not good enough for you? Werewolves over... I disagree, but I've never really been a big werewolf person. However, because I know Daphne, and because I know Daphne is the biggest fangirl of werewolves that ever exists on this planet, I I accept that there are some people in this world that see werewolves as superior. You are wrong, but I respect your opinion. I like knowing there's a goth 29-year-old British woman scared to leave the attic somewhere in the world. Oh no. I mean, I guess. I'm feeling like one of those, like, you know, the really popular, like, girl failure comics on Twitter. I'm feeling like one of those right now. I don't like it. Otherworldly entity pretending to be an angel who's inhabiting the body of a cat girl is much more normal than vampire. Red eyes, fangs, violently allergic to the sun, a suspiciously high penchant for blood. As well as, yeah, my sleep schedule. My sleep schedule. I am partially nocturnal. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Forgot Daphne is the girl from that one werewolf comic. There's too many werewolf comics. I don't know which werewolf comic you're referencing. But yeah, Daphne is like the world's biggest fan of werewolves. Like, whenever I see a werewolf in anything, I'm like, time to tag Daphne. That being said, I may have gotten Havoc into World of Warcraft, and I have discovered that, you know what, werewolf fuckers are fine. Werewolf fuckers are fine, okay? They do not compare to bug fuckers. I took Havoc around the raids in Classic with the bugs, and they literally spent like the whole time going like wood. And I'm like, this is a wasp. That's just a wasp. Like, it's not even a humanoid. That's a wasp. What do you mean? The one where the werewolf crawls on the window and goes. Okay, yeah, that is Daphne. That is Daphne. You're an expert. What do you mean I'm an expert? What the fuck does that mean? Why am I the expert? The monster, they are not to be underestimated. Any good monster design, any popular monster design has three kinds of fans. People who, well, okay, one of them isn't a fan. People who hate it because they think it's scary. People who like it because they think that it's scary, and people who like it because they want to do unmentionable activities to it. If your monster does not have all three categories, like, they will not become popular. Like, I don't know what it is, the importance of that last category, but it's common. It's very common. I found that there's like a Roblox horror character thing that is literally just like a PNG of like a vague face, but has all three of those, like, quote unquote fans, and therefore it's ended up being really popular. And upon discovering that, I was just there like, what? Because I saw fan art of it before I saw the actual, like, what it looks like in the game. I was like, damn, this is a cool monster design. Apart from that, I looked it up, and like, in the game it's literally just a PNG of a face. I'm like, what the fuck? I got a response from Blizzard. Yeah, I'm glad you'll get your account back. They say the internet isn't educational. when I started seeing newer species was a lost cause. Minecraft is got too popular to not have porn. God, I'm glad I'm not monetized on YouTube, because God knows they would sedate me for this. Anything that, I mean, it's one of the rules of the internet, like, if it exists. But the thing is, if anything gets too big, and Minecraft is huge, it's going to exist. I want to stop thinking. I want to stop thinking about this. Anyway, there's like a lot though. There's a lot of fans of Minecraft. The 100% say-so ratio of fan art bothers me if something has more than like 10 pieces of fan art. Honestly, I don't think I had any not safe for work art for a really long time. I think Bunira Puni's artwork of me in the reverse bunny suit was the first time I ever received something that was like borderline not safe for work. I remember being a little bit flawed by it, like not offended, not like, oh no, why did someone do this, but I was just like surprised that like it happened. Now I think I have a normal proportion, question mark. Your original outfit. Maybe? I mean, okay, it was, I guess it was borderline. That heart cutout was a bit too large. The thing is, like, a lot of the art I received in those early days actually made the heart way smaller, or actually didn't include it. Like, some people just didn't draw it. Like, I remember one of the very first pieces of art I received. I can bring it up actually. Art. No, not art. VTuber art. Art of Puri. Potato. This was one of the very first pieces of art I ever received. And this was when I had a cutout in my outfit. There was not a version of my outfit that didn't have a cutout, and yet I was drawn with no cutout. So yeah, just I guess people knew better than I did back then. What else is from those early days? Yeah, you can see like a lot of it, they like, it does exist, but also it's like a bit smaller than I drew it in the original model. Man, either way. It's fine. I only had somebody's. I have a non-second. What is it? To be fair, I only had that outfit for September, October, November, December. 7 months before maybe six or 7 months before I got the full hoodie version. You know, the literally like everything is covered, super like this outfit. If you had a ruby style and also it's a gun weapon, I'm guessing halberd, what kind of gun would be attached? I don't know guns very well though. The thing is, like, mechanically I have the little pistol, like, oh god, sorry, immersion break. I have the little pistol, like, it's just a little handgun, That's not very interesting attached to a halberd. I still bring up the chibi models sometimes. What do you mean? If I streamed more, it would have more appearances, but you know, I am trying. Arachnophobes get the red card. Guns designed by someone whose only experiences with them is double. Yes. I want a halberd with ebony and ivory. That's it. What happened to that little guy? I was actually thinking about how I want to use the clay I have to make a little Chit Kat and Insomniac at some point, but I'm kind of still trying to hype myself up to do it. I wouldn't have a shotgun. A shotgun isn't my style. But I just think having like in a Ruby style situation, having something like a handgun attached to a halberd is just not very interesting. I will say I once gave a character of mine a halberd that also was a sniper rifle. However, I don't like, would I use, actually, you know what, probably, yeah, probably some kind of sniper rifle. I don't want to be in the middle of the action. That's why I have a halberd, it keeps people away from me. You're kind of predictable in a good way. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I accept that. Are you familiar with hit game Oddworld Stranger's Wrath? I've heard the name Oddworld before. Stranger's Wrath does not ring a bell. Why? What are you suggesting? What are you suggesting to me? Has gun lancers as a weapon? I don't know if I could ever get into Monster Hunter. Wouldn't that be a sniper rifle with the axe head bayonet? If it was real, yes, but if it's, the thing is with Ruby, is it would be a halberd that like folds and transforms into a sniper rifle. Just because Ruby was kind of needlessly complicated in a cool way. He has a crossbow that he loads with circular furry creatures as projectiles. You need that with killed Chit Kats as ammo? Oh no, I can't fire Chit Kats at things. You're just little orbs. Oh god, it's catapulting. Oh my god, maybe I should suggest that to Void though. Chit Kat catapult. Chatapult! Chatapult! Sorry. They stare at you as you have them loaded? That's scary. This is a 35-minute long video, Pluvium. Give me a freaking timestamp. What on earth? Oh wait, no, it's really early into the video. Those are freaky little things. Those are freaky little things. Those are freaky. Pillbugs is beanbag rounds. Exploding spiky, but no, I don't wanna explode a pillbug. Pillbugs are cute. I'm ready to die. I trust you. A spider across the room. They don't want to get up to relocate. I trust you. I trust the Chit Kat to take care of the spider. It's okay. That with Chit Kats and also a halberd, that's your Ruby weapon. They are weird and weird and weird and a bit doomer-pilled. What? I'm not doomer-pilled. Don't offer me doomer-pilled stuff. I'm hope-pilled. Hold on, I found a video. I found a post that perfectly describes me the other day. I saved it in my drafts because I was on the wrong account. Here we go. Don't take my defeatism too seriously. I will always begin again and again no matter what. I might sound miserable most of the time, but at my core, I'm a very hopeful person. And I was like, yeah, that is me actually. Hold on, I'm gonna go reblog that on Purity's blog. What's it? Where's this fabled question mark gallery? If you have a Toy House account, I can authorize you and you can see it. If you do not have a Toy House account, you can't see it. There we go. Fake Duma? I'm not a real Duma. I'm not a real Duma. I'm not a Duma. You need to be authorized? Am I only seeing partial question mark content? I don't know. Wait, hold on. Can you actually click on them, or do you just see the, if you can only see the thumbnails? I think you can see the thumbnails without being authorized, but I don't think you can see the full everything without being authorized. Also, yes, you do have to out yourself to me as a Yeah, if you're not authorized, you can only see the thumbnails. You have to ask me. You have to ask me to authorize you, and then you can see more than the thumbnails. And then yeah, I think if you're not logged in, you won't even see them at all because of the age rating on them. Toy Story account and okay. It's because there's only certain you can't really like group people into categories because the authorization also lets you see the art without the watermarks. So I also do it to protect my. So they were afraid I was going to be my hair. Yeah! It's because sometimes, Pluvium, you are a little bit on the... I worry that you're going to go off the deep end sometime. Okay? You cannot blame me for having my reservations. Anyway. Fake. It's literally Reddit Dagoth. What does that even mean? It's not that I don't think he can handle it. One will need to get invite codes. Pluvium, how did you get your invite code again? You mentioned you like joined some like random Discord. The thing is, like, I know someone who one of my viewers who has like spare codes, but I don't want to just like advertise them to like give everyone codes because that feels kind of rude because it's not me. I'm gonna get my purity now. I woke up from the secret Discord instead. Either way, if you want me to authorize you and you do get a Toy House account, just tell me the name of your account. You don't have to say, I want to see Teprons. Like, you can just say, please authorize me, and I will authorize you. But just, yeah, keep in mind I'm really bad at keeping my gallery updated because I'm good like that. I'm good at forgetting to upload things. I probably have things that... It's the most 2008... What do you mean? Come on, surely the most 2008 statement I've ever made was when I told people that they have to, that if they wanted to tell me to kill myself, they have to do it off and on. Like, surely that was the most 2008 statement I've made. By the way, not impressed. The closest I've received to a death threat was on and on. Not a death threat. Like telling me to do stuff to myself was on and on. Not impressed. Not impressed. Step it the fuck up. Lame. Give me the... I don't think it exists. I don't think it exists. And if it exists, seriously, just throw an invite to my secret viewer account. Anyway. I'm gonna go. What do you mean, wait, that's funny? What's funny? I'm gonna go. This stream got a little bit unhinged, but you know, whatever, it's fine. It's gonna create this. All me. All me. Hope the cats and mice and ghosts stay quiet tonight. Thank you. Me too. So yeah, I am going to do my best to stream on Thursday. I promise nothing. I promise nothing. But I'll do my best. Still don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing my best! That's it. That's the best. But thank you for coming to stream. I will hopefully see you on Thursday. If I do not, then hopefully I will see you on Monday. And if I do not see you on Monday, then I will see you Tuesday. Unless you don't come to stream, but that's like, that's on you, not me. So, like, that's whatever. Alright. Good night. Onyasumi. Good night, good night. I need trepidation. Good night.